year's 2023, and society is at its breaking point. The culture now thrives on political strife, and the people's collective goals center on destroying their enemy by eliminating their life, or at least their quality of life. I say an unhealthy addiction to technology fueled it. When you live in a screen, you can search for your own reality. But that luxury came at a price, as it disconnects us from our souls and the truth. Yeah. And then something happened. A mysterious event caused all devices, machinery, communication networks, shit like that. Anything that runs on electricity to fail worldwide and all at once. This event became known as the Short because that's what the circuits did, and humanity could not stretch back to civility. Ruthless! My name is Ash, and it's been 1 year since the Short. I don't know what caused it, but I like to believe it was some kind of solar event. While humans were unharmed, our culture was not ready to deal with the life-altering repercussions of what had just occurred. And to be honest, I wasn't ready. Went on a business trip in Chicago, away from my family that's down in Florida. A quick walk up the block outside my hotel told me something was very wrong. It took 2 days before people started killing each other in the streets. I didn't think a power outage would have caused the end of the world, but we had no backup, no aid. No one was truly independent, and the madness didn't even start yet. As I watched the panic grow, I knew I had to get out of there and find my family. I was a grown-ass man, terrified, running for my life. After I got out of the city, my journey across America began. Luckily, Illinois has a lot of farmland, which means it was easy to avoid interacting with people. I now had to consider everyone as a threat. 1 week later, and thanks to a map in the hotel lobby, I made it all the way to Indianapolis. The welcome sign to the city was ripped off, exposing the 2 poles that held it. I guess someone wanted to redecorate it with flesh by impaling a young man next to an elderly woman. It took hundreds of years to crawl out of medieval times, and only a week to go back. I wondered if they knew each other. If I was gonna survive this, I needed to stay far away from the cities. That kind of detour took me 11 months to get home. No more good mornings. I arrived home yesterday and found no signs of my wife, Joy, my son, Joseph, or my daughter, Aria. Laying in bed, staring at my ceiling, I try not to think of the worst. Are they alive? Did they meet a ruthless end? The things I've seen in such a short time, it's enough to drive even the most stoic man mad. I'm no warrior, but unfortunately, that doesn't matter. I can't give up hope. I have to find them, no matter the cost. Time to take inventory. I get up and look for my guns. Good news, I found my 9, my shotgun, my long-chambered revolver, with about 350 rounds between them. The 12-gauge hollow point slugs and the 45 Colt Special Defense expanding rounds are my most potent. 9mm, the most abundant. Buckshot, hollow points, full metal jacket round out my stockpile. The bad news is, I really don't want to attract attention with something noisy, unless I must. I need something quiet, but devastating. Something I can fight for my life with. I started looking. Kitchen, storage, closets. The house gets ripped apart more than it already was. The best I find is a couple of pocket knives, kitchen utensils, and a baseball bat. Bitch. Might as well be the first guy that gets killed in a movie. It's break time. I sit in the couch, not knowing what the fuck I'm doing. My head pans to the side, looking at my wall where the instruments hung. I used to be in a band, played guitar, and every guitarist has a favorite. One in particular, a star-shaped single piece with humbucker pickups, lightning-shaped fret markers, and a Floyd Rose bridge. Perfect for shredding. It'll never see a live amp again. When we performed, we used to get the whole family out at shows. Then memories of my father came flooding back. He always taught me to be a bad motherfucker in a loving way. We did a lot of manual labor together. You know, a real man's man type work. Doesn't seem appropriate to start doing drywall now. Always charge your batteries, he said. You don't want to run out of power mid-job. Always charge your batteries. I jump up and run to the shed where my power tools are. My 2 batteries scream at me when I throw open the doors. I pop one into my skill saw and hit the button, and heard that beautiful sound of a blade ready to cut. I pull my skill saw, sawzall, drill, and flashlight into the house. I have 1 day's worth of power and a vision, as if it was sent from God himself. Time to find all the metal I can. Shutters, the aluminum bat, screws, hammers, I got it all. The star-shaped guitar comes off the wall and gets placed on the table. I hear that hollow sound condensing as I pound the shutters flat. They'll make wonderful steel strips. A single cut is placed lengthwise down the bat. I mount the extra saw blades on the base of the guitar, along the 2 spikes holding the weight at the bottom. I drill enough screws into those saws to survive hell. Next, I take the cut bat and pry it open, wrapping the neck of the guitar. Strips of shutters are placed around the body, continuing the reinforcement of the weapon. Now it's time for the finishing touch. I secure 2 pocket knives open and mount one on each spike at the head of the guitar. A weapon I can swing, stab, and everything in between. My axe becomes my axe. A weapon worthy of defending me. I will call it Shredder. A scream coming from outside cuts the mood. Could it be joy? I grab Shredder and my 9 and run out the back door. A year of walking and running made me adept at scaling a fence in my backyard. I hit the ground and stop to orient myself. To the right, another scream. I'm pretty sure this time it's not my wife. My mind starts to slow my intention. I can't afford to die saving some stranger. My family needs me. As I turn to go back, a 3rd scream got me. This time, it's a boy calling for his mommy. Shit! All I can think about now is my son calling for his mother. My feet carried me toward the ruckus, preparing myself to kill. I've never been a killer, but my journey home popped my murder cherry out of necessity. The truth is, I'm still a novice at ending lives. The front door to the home is open, and judging from the volume of the sound, they are right behind those walls. I can finally see a figure in the entrance hallway. A man with his back turned from me. He doesn't see or hear me. Must be the adrenaline. I peek my head around the door a little bit further, and in a connecting room, a second man pummels a woman. A young boy lays on the floor, already beaten. No time to think. No time for finesse. I need to make this a one-on-one. I need to make it happen now. Shredder is raised in both arms, deep behind my back, like a lumberjack. I swing it around over my head and follow through, burying the body of the weapon right into Mr. Hallway's skull. It happened so fast, his mouth didn't even make a noise. His skull did though, cracking with the sound like snapping firewood. The saw blades get stuck into the bone, forcing me to place my foot on his back, kicking with my leg to yank it out of his split head. Now I've got Mr. Woman Beater's attention. Come on, you're already a dead man, I tell him, but this guy doesn't seem to be intimidated by my screaming. I guess shit's about to go down. He turns to me, and I catch a glimmer off the hunting knife in his right hand. I swing Shredder like a baseball bat, but miss the guy as he's ducking me. He lunges at my ribs with the blade, but I pivot my axe back in a desperate attempt to use this thing as a shield. It was enough for him to stop his momentum and bring it back a bit. I catch my balance and rush forward, swinging like a tube-man outside a car dealership. The saw blades didn't cut, but the blunt damage of the body lands where I intended, right on his knee. It instantly buckles, and he drops his knife while grabbing at his leg. Seizing the moment, I pull my baby back one more time and put the saws to his face. It didn't cut the fucker's head off, but it was enough to mangle his tongue through his cheek. I got to see it dangle from his mouth, connected by a slim piece of red meat. The threat seems to be eliminated. With that, I turn to the kid. A little beat up, but he'll live. Time to check on Mama. She was saying thank you, thank you, thank you. I bend down to help her stand. Her stomach, it had been stabbed several times. I look into her eyes. She keeps saying the same thing over and over until she said no more. Please, take care of my son. I've been standing here for an hour, letting this boy mourn his mother. Took me a while to gather up the fortitude to say anything, but finally, I asked, what was her name? Sarah, the kid mutters. Right, Sarah. And what's yours? I responded. Eddie. Look, Eddie, your mother's last words were, take care of him. You're coming with me. But first we're gonna need to give her a proper burial so she can rest in peace. I know you don't want to hear any of this right now, but you gotta understand, your mother would have wanted you to take care of yourself now. If you want to show her honor, you need to do that, and I'll help you. Do you have a shovel? Eddie directs me to a few tools suited for digging graves. We put in the work, say a prayer, and cover her up. He etched a piece of wood to mark her. I bring Eddie back to my house. My kids' bunk beds are too small for him, so I lay a mattress down on the floor and give him his room. I go to my old bar, which was still somewhat stocked. I pour bourbon into 2 glasses, 2 shots for the kid, 6 for me. We toast to his mother and drink. His head shuddered and shook. It's gotta be this kid's first time tasting alcohol. It'll help him sleep. I show him how to use my 9 and tell him to get some rest. I load up my shotgun and revolver and bring them up to my room. Laying in my bed, all I can think about is how much there is to think about. What am I gonna do with this kid? Why do I gotta handle him? What are my best chances at finding my loved ones? Where to begin? Towards the end of my journey home, I had an unlucky encounter where a gentleman by the name of Russ saved my ass. And that's a terrifying story for another time. Russ talked about a new organization starting to pop up in branches across the country. People still holding on to the idea of forming a new government. Russ told me not to trust it. Still, seemed to be the best place to start on my quest to finding joy in the kids. They called themselves the People's Collective. You gotta be. 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 You gotta be ruthless. You gotta be ruthless. You gotta be ruthless. You gotta be ruthless.